To tweet up, the action of arranging a meeting with someone on Twitter. Wurfing, to surf the internet while at work. These are two of just many new words, abbreviations, and emoticons added to the lexicon of many English speakers because of the advancement in technology and online communication. I had the chance to speak with linguistic doctoral student Natalia Sinitskaya to discuss these new genres of language. Thank you again for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you.
So tell me, what are some of the differences between how we speak online and how we speak in person?
Well, I think the bigger question is whether there is such a difference between language that we use in person and language that we use online. When we talk about email as a form of digital communication, we can't really make such a big distinction between writing a professional letter, say, and writing a professional email. When we talk about texting or talking on MSN in environments that are much more personal and much more informal, then we have different genres of communication and different usages of language. I think it's interesting for me as a linguist and a language educator because I believe that there are very interesting things that are happening in those media that speak of language innovation and some sense of adventure with language, which is great to see, especially when we think about the importance of rich language experiences for adolescents, for young people.
And can you elaborate on some of the things that are happening with the online languages?
Absolutely. I think a lot of the innovation that comes in online language comes from a technological restrictions, because you have to be fast, you have to be brief. So I think there's a way to kind of find a medium that's comfortable and very useful, very handy, but I think there's also some language play and some opportunities to engage with this medium playfully.
Abbreviations and having to get our message across really quickly, do we lose anything in our ways to communicate?
I think I like to think of it as complementary rather than something that we lose or something that is taken away from us. I think these days we have multiple ways to communicate. So I wouldn't necessarily think of it as a medium that's replacing face-to-face communication, but a medium that is giving us other ways to engage.
Where do you see the relationship between technology and the language we use with it going in the future?
I think we'll see a lot of innovation and maybe some of the experiments that have been started with language will eventually subside and kind of go into the underground, because we've had a lot of experiments with innovative spelling. I don't know if you're familiar with leet speak, which originated as a way for a particular gaming community to talk with each other. And I mean, it reads like a code. It's completely unintelligible. But right now you can't really find a lot of people who understand that kind of language, because that wasn't a very functional way to communicate. So for them, there was that sense of play and experimentation, but right now it's just not feasible. I think maybe we're going to see some of those forms of abbreviations and innovations kind of solidify and stay where they are maybe.
The relationship between globalization and online communication has also had an effect on our language. As we socialize with people around the world, their language and culture influences how we speak, and vice versa. Today, 1 in 3 speakers of English have learned it as a second language. For Say News Weekly, I'm Elena LaFleur.